Here I am on the banks of the river. I should just say the river bank. It's been a couple months since I've filmed from this spot here. You can see autumn is coming. The end of summer is in another week. It's next weekend, in fact. And looking this way, right about now I am pointing the camera right at where my garden is. And you cannot tell where it is. So you can see why I call this kind of a secret garden. I'm going to raise this up as high as I can over my head, see if you can see. Oh.
Yeah.
These are really good little sausages, man. I agree with your arrangement. And also the nice thing about this type of grill is you can 180 it every once in a while too.
And is this a place I can? Well, you
Yep.
don't want your grease dripping there, but
The grease, I don't worry about it. I'm going to have to wash the blanket sometime.
a little fucking.
That's usually the thing I use to stir or turn the sausages over.
Well, this thing kind of fits on there. Look.
Perfect. So the thing I use to do what you're doing is working to do what you want to do.
It's multitasking. You're not filming my voice, are you?
Yes, I am. I was filming sausages, but the voice got in there.
Why didn't you
It
tell
doesn't.
me?
I told
Rolling.
you. I said I'm not going to film your face, but I told you I was going to
Rolling.
film. Would that be too hot for that or not? If you hear crazy noises, just move it.
You don't want to.
We could put it on a corn leaf or something if you want to have a
Yeah, I think
protective
so.
layer.
You know, they're doing good. We're good. This is our first. This is an app right here. This is an apple teaser.
That's a teaser, all right.
That's an apple teaser right there. Apple teaser.
They're my favorite ones, so hopefully the rest of them don't suck. As if they would all suck after those. This is how I light a fire when everything is very wet. I make a cone out of these leaves, and I do cheat a little bit, and I'll show you in a second. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this leaf with cooking oil. That's probably enough. That's just regular vegetable oil there. Then what I do here is I twist up a paper towel, pieces of a used paper towel, and I put it in such a way so that it sits in the oil and it soaks up that oil, and it will act as my wick. Before I put any more wood in there, I'm going to light this. So I'll light it with one of these long matches. See if that's burning in there yet. This wood is all wet, so that's why I'm doing it this way. This will not catch on fire very easily. So, the wick is down there burning. You can see it burning. So this oil wick will burn maybe for 5 minutes, so I need to get the driest wood I possibly can. Every bit of this wood is wet, so hopefully the wick will stay burning long enough to light one of these pieces of wood on fire. So now that it's burning down there, I put all the wet stuff up on top so the fire will dry it out. And I put in a couple nice dry pieces that I got. So you can see that it's starting to light up on fire. That oil will keep it burning longer. It's going to catch on fire here. Just have to get my food ready and tend the fire the whole time because it will go out if I don't keep an eye on it. So anyway, that's how I light a fire when it's really wet, because without the oil lamp idea, you just can't hold a match to the wet wood long enough for it to actually catch on fire. Everything around is starting to die. most of the corn here didn't make it, and it's not going to, and I really don't care. It's alright. My bean finally started to climb this tree. It of course will not produce anything. Here's the other bean. This grew out of the shade, so I'm not surprised that it only has a few actual beans here. I'll probably pick these today, or maybe I'll let them go dry, I don't know. Maybe I'll let it go dry and pick them next week. But I have a few bean pods growing in there, but not a whole lot actually made it to seed. I don't know what kind of beans those are. Honestly, it could have been from the hamster food bag for all I know. We'll find out what kind of beans they are. Everything's dying away. The corn in the back here never made it. It's got a few little tiny ears, but there's no actual seed. I'm sure you can eat that if you want to, but my amaranth in the back got stomped by something. I hear I can eat these leaves, so I'm going to take some of these home with me. I think that I'm just going to do that today. So I'm going to try out eating amaranth leaves. There's one corn that's making it a little bit. That one grew, but I don't think it has anything on it. This one probably also doesn't have anything on it. In fact, to be honest, I don't think anything has anything on it. Looking here, you can see this corn did have something on it, but whatever found it quite tasty. Probably a pig chewed it up and just left it there. This amaranth fell over. It got stomped probably by a pig, knocked over, but you can see it has a little seed head on it. So I'm going to probably take some of those leaves home with me and see if they're edible. And moving around here, those ones look like they're done. This one might actually, even though it has aphids all over it, this one might actually have some stuff on it. So I'm going to have to take those ones. Let me do that right now. Up close and personal. One. See all those aphid things? It's okay, you can peel those off. They're only on the outer layer, but there might be some viable seeds in there, but I doubt very many at all made it. My beans here have a few pods growing on the stalks of corn. You can see some bean pods there, so that's nice that a few beans actually made it. This piece of corn might actually be done. So that's one very rare one. Here's another. Here's my topinambur. It did flower last week. I didn't take a picture last week because I didn't have my SD card. So I couldn't even take a picture of the flowers when they were out, which is really too bad because they were nice little yellow flowers, all bright and sunny. There's some more corn that's probably done that I can take with me. And my favorite thing here, of course, is the red one here. It's about, to give you an idea of length, going down my leg there, that's quite long. I don't know if they're quite ready for seed yet because they're not really falling off, so I'm afraid of taking them off too early. But it sure is a pretty plant. Wow, it's beautiful. My horseradish here is really taken a toll. There's still millions of snails, of course, everywhere. And this horseradish should really take off next year because I'm going to probably just leave it in the ground and let it go naturally. I've got more white amaranth growing really well here finally. I just don't think it's going to make it to seed. I think it's flowering too late here. Maybe some of this will actually be good seed if I let it dry out. I don't know, I've never had it before, so this is my first real garden. And the Jerusalem artichokes will remain in the ground where they were. One other thing I might mention that's interesting is the tomato plant that I had that had that blight. Well, this is it, and it's dead. There's nothing left of it. It's just dry. Looks like something chomped this ear of corn. So let's look at that. This is popcorn. Okay, something ate the top of it, probably a deer, because that was bit off high. Maybe birds? I don't know. It seems like it was bit off though. But the shape of these kernels is not like any corn I've ever seen, so I'm growing mutant corn. Alright, I gotta get back to that fire of mine. Okay, back to the center. The fire looks like it's died down, so I'm gonna have to blow on it and get it going again. So that's my tour. That's the whole thing. Here's an example of one of my immature corns that I just took out of the cob that I cooked over the fire here. It's still steaming, as you can see. Those kernels are all teardrop shaped. This was popcorn that I planted. I'm going to eat it like sweet corn, see if it tastes any good. To be honest, it's not that bad. It tastes okay, but it's very chewy because it seems to be less juicy and very, very chewy. But it's good. It tastes fine. So I'm going to make use of it and eat it. That's my chicken in there. You can hear it crackling and popping now. Mustard chicken, that's all it is. Mustard and chicken. We'll see if it's any good. My potatoes, baked potatoes down here need to be turned. It's gonna be a feast. We're gonna see if we got any sweet potatoes. Look at that. I see a sweet potato. It's this big. Look at that guy. It's rotting. Something ate through it. So there's my sweet potato plant. And there's a sweet potato with holes in it. So I'm gonna have to root around in here and see if any sweet potatoes actually grew. There's the other half of that one. Look at the bugs just chewed right through that. They loved it, whatever they were. Here's a sweet potato. It's got those two. And probably I wouldn't guess many more because this is just the place where the roots went in, and there's wood from my Hugelkultur already. Look at that. I found more. So something lives down in the earth here that drills through sweet potatoes. Look at that. They ate my sweet potatoes. I wonder what they are. Soup's on.